Hey guys, happy April 20th plus one. It's a beautiful Tuesday here in Oklahoma. I went and played some disc golf today, went for a jog. It's the first time I've done that in weeks. It's been beautiful weather here. It still looks like a frozen tundra in this game though, so I'm sure they're going to update to that annoying bright green grass pretty soon. I kind of hope they don't though. That background they used to have was just painful on the eyes. This is nice, it's cool looking. I'm digging it. Yeah, it's been a chill few days in the game. We still have the Moogle monster out, the Toothy Alpha Gen, and it's been pretty good. They've been giving us a lot of MP just for logging in. So every couple hours I've been logging in, but other than that, I haven't been doing much. I did level up some of the heroes, and I got some of the power of Challenger skill trees done, and I've noticed this is way better than even I initially thought. Some of these are awesome. Like I'm enjoying this dark dungeon one. It's making us a little bit more beefy in the guild hall dungeons. The really good ones for core, and I would level up your core first if you're going to do any of the power of challengers masteries, is because he's got this core troop supply one, which is unique to him, that buffs attack core supplies potency 375 billion. So this is a really good one to get. I think that's the best of all of them because you're going to be using a lot of attack troop supplies pretty soon once you get all the skill trees done. So he's got that one, and he's also got this one that also boosts the troop attack supplies. So I definitely start with him. Another really cool skill tree, skill that is in this skill tree is this one, the Dark Monster Troops. And I've been changing my tune on the Monster Troops. Initially I was thinking, buffs look kind of small, like what's we're still dealing with billions when in other things you can get like 20 trillion. So I was kind of looking at the numbers, but here's the thing. The monster troops have such high base attack that 750 billion% is quite a bit for them. So yeah, maybe you want to get some of those. Of course, the problem is you have to do a whole nother level to get both of these, and it starts costing a fortune once you start getting like level 12, level 13. So if you're not hitting a lot of monsters, I probably wouldn't do it. Like a lot of the Alpha Gen, I'd probably do that last. But and that's changing my tune on these expansions a little bit too. The buffs are actually not that bad. Like it's tough to get armor for the Dark Monster Troops and HP for the Dark Monster Troops. It's kind of tough. Like even if you do the power of challengers, it doesn't give you much HP or armor, but these expansions do. And I've been getting burned by like 10 million monster marches. And I can show you guys what it looks like. So people just send like 1 million or 10 million monster troops, and it's been burning me. Part of the reasons I still have a lot of level 8 troops I made for the event the other day. So yeah, maybe I should dismiss those. I've been kind of on the fence on it because it's like it doesn't really matter if I get burned because I don't keep heroes or anything. And it is kind of like a nice meat shield. I made so many that maybe it's worth just hanging on to them. Like eventually other people will kill them for me. So maybe I'll just wait it out unless I'm trying to like do crystal rallies. Then if you get burned, you teleport out. And if you're in a rally, I think it withdraws your troops from the rally. I could be wrong on that, but so maybe I will dismiss them if I do some crystal rallies. Yeah, but the buffs are pretty decent. Now here is the biggest question that I have. Now that these are really good buffs for Dark Monster Troop armor, but if you're attacking people with monster troops, does Dark City Assault apply to monsters? Because if it does, then these buffs don't mean as much. But if it doesn't, then these buffs are like really good. And the reason I say that is if you look at some of these skills in like the power of challengers, there's this one that's like pretty crazy. This Dark City Assault. Dark City Assault armor 18 trillion. Dark City Assault HP 6 trillion. Dark City Assault attack 3 trillion. Does this apply to your monster troops? If so, monster troops are going to be pretty awesome for attacking. Like 18 trillion armor, yeah, it's going to make like it pointless to get the armor, like build the expansions for the monsters other than to loot them for more monsters. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Does this apply to monster troops if you're using them for a city assault? They are a dark troop, a dark monster troop. So I would think it would, but then again, it's so tough to test. There's so many different stats now. Like, it's impossible to test them. You'd spend all day trying to formulate tests to do some of the tests on them. But if those apply to monster troops, yeah, I would less build these for the buffs and more build them to farm a bunch of troops. And you can actually farm quite a bit. Actually, let me pull up my Raveis. It's definitely worth having Raveis open if you're farming those to try to get as many monsters as possible. Because it's like, yeah, you'll see the difference. Like, it's crazy how much better it is with Raveis because he's got his expansion production. Yeah, look at that. That's way more. But if you could farm 415,000, so you get them to level 7, which is not too hard using this really good Moogle event right now. 415,000 chests an hour with Raveis, times 5 because you get 5 monster troops per chest. That's a couple million. That's like 5 million monster troops every hour. That's not bad, right? 5 million? Like, that's enough to burn me every hour. At least until I get rid of my level 8. So, yeah, I don't know. Might be good. Might just be kind of like a... It might just be more of like a trick, like, oh yeah, it seems good, but then here's the problem with monster troops is if you send them in a big march, you're less likely to get the victory because all your other troops are going to get wiped out. And yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that? But see, where I was going with that is when people send monster troops in big marches against me, I tend to get victories because... here, let me show you guys an example. So, like Titan here. Titan can burn me if he only sends 10 million monster troops, but when he sends, like, everything he's got, I get the victory because he doesn't kill that many more troops, but yet he loses a lot more. So, yeah, it's definitely, it's going to be tough to zero people with monster troops unless your core supplies are strong enough to not get wiped out and have the monsters behind them. But even so, I think it's still, if you're trying to zero people or go for crystals, you're still going to need the biggest core troop supply, like the biggest troop supply marches as you can get. So maybe you don't want these expansions. But I think I'm definitely going to keep them on my farm account just to farm them for tons of monster troops. And maybe it's worth having, again, if like the Dark Crystal Assault, if the Dark City Assault, if those don't apply to the monster troops, then these are going to be way more valuable to have and build. I'm hoping you guys will figure it out for me because I don't know how to test it, to be honest. It's so tricky to test this stuff and like actually notice a difference. But yeah, monster troops are definitely better than I initially thought. So that's good. Also, there's some other stuff in this Moogle that I'm changing my tune on a little bit. So definitely, one thing I did get wrong, you need less of these than I thought. Maybe half as many. So you're going to need like 30 of these to get the, 30. So 30 times 10 million is, what is that, 300 million? So you'll need like 300 million at least to get the core troop supply buffs and the power of challengers. So that's good. That's not that crazy with how much MP they've been giving us. Also, these mercenary troops, not as bad as I initially thought because you get 100,000 million, you get 300 billion. That's quite a bit. So, you get 300 billion times 500. That's a lot of juggernauts. Or that's a lot of, I wouldn't probably do the Guardians, but the juggernauts, the airships, not too bad. Even the elementals, like 9 billion level 11, isn't that bad. Like, that's not that bad. So, maybe I would probably still do the power of challengers first, but, some of these aren't that bad. Like, I probably would do those before I go too crazy on some of this other stuff. Though I did get some of these, just in case. I wanted to get it now in case I decide to build these expansions in the future. So I did get some, not too many though. I also got some elemental. So I've got a problem, guys. I have a problem. I ran out of gemstones, and for a while there was a trick to get free gemstones that I kind of hinted at in one of my videos, but I didn't want to make a video on it because I knew I knew they were going to get rid of it at some point, and I didn't want the whole community to blame me for spreading the information out. But there was a trick to get free gemstones using the Ignis dinner chests. And if you opened up like 100 at a time, you'd get tons of gemstones. But I got lazy. I stopped. I did it for like 2 nights. I got so many. I'm like, okay, I'm good for a while. As soon as I run out, I'll do it again. But I ran out, and then they had got rid of the trick. So it's now like tough to get gemstones again. And I'm struggling to level up and do my research now, which is quite a bummer. Somebody said in the Carbuncle realm they were doing free, time-wise instant building upgrades and instant research. So I'm going to have to wait for something else like that because I now have enough blueprints. I'm hoping I can get to Citadel 230. And once I hit 230, I'm going to blow past it because I've got tons in the next level, assuming I can get the speed ups. But it's so many days that it doesn't really make sense to fish to get 50,000 days. I mean, you could do it, but I don't want to sit here all day and fish just to get like one building upgrade. So I don't know. What are you guys doing? Is this a problem for you guys too, or are you guys hopefully enough of you guys stocked up on the gemstones? You're good for a while. Wow, I'm really kicking myself. I didn't do that all night, every night. Like set up my auto clicker and just keep that going, because that would have been really nice right now to have those gemstones. Oh well, yeah, so I think that's most of the good ones here. I would stay away from the astrals because the astral buffs are somewhat outdated now, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're a little bit outdated for how many it's going to cost you. I'd probably avoid that. The troop supply upgrade level 2 is still good if you don't have your troop supply research done and if you have the gemstones to do the research. I don't have the gemstones now, so my research is stalled out there. They do have speed ups and gemstones here, but I don't think it's very cost efficient. Like, you only get 500 million per 10 million. So 500 million luminous gemstones per 10 million. Even if you're getting all 1,500, that's only a couple upgrades. So I'd rather get, and the speed ups are a little bit better, but not much better in terms of value. You can see I got a couple just to test it out. It's a little better, but it's still not worth. I'd still rather get the level 11 elementals, the mercenary troops, even more power of challengers tier 1. I'd even rather have more of these to start maxing as many of those as I can. Yeah, so that's really all I've been doing, just taking it easy, hitting some monsters, testing out the monster buffs. But again, it's so tough to tell, man. I've tried to come up with some good tests to see, do the city assault ones apply, and it's just so tricky. It's so tricky to test out. So hopefully you guys know, let me know. I'd be really curious to find out. I'm definitely going to max these out on my farm account. Definitely going to max these out because you start getting a lot of chests at level 7. What do you think you're going to get at level 10? It's probably going to be 1 million chests an hour, which is 5 million troops an hour, which is pretty good. 5 million an hour? That's not bad. So, yeah, and I've been having fun. I've been building up this farm account, guys. I've been building it up. I got tons of juggernauts, and I've been trying to do all the power of challengers tree on this one too. And it's a little easier to do because I have every single hero at level 1 pretty much. So I've leveled up like 4 or 5 of the heroes now. And yeah, it's quite a bit of, like, I've definitely have billions of the credits, the Moogle credits. So other than that, haven't been doing a whole lot. Just been kind of taking it easy. Been spending more time outside. I did some rollerblading the other day. I bought some with my I bought some speed inline skates. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I might even make a video on that because it's just so fun, man. Like, I've been rollerblading and it's just so much fun to fly around. It's like, man, it's a blast. So yeah, maybe I'll take you guys on an adventure with me as soon as my new skates come in. My old ones, man. Yeah, man. Check out these missions. These things are awesome. I had a problem on my so this is the left boot. On my right boot, the wheel completely locked up. I think I was going so fast that it like melted the glue on the wheel, and the wheel was like half off the rim of, so the rubber piece was half off the plastic. Yeah, so it was like it like locked up on me. I was like 5 miles out from my car, and it locked up. So I had to walk like 5 miles back to my car pretty much. But yeah, anyways, so that's what I've been doing. I've been rollerblading, disc golfing. Other than that, not a whole lot. Worked a little bit. It's still been crazy here, man. Hope you guys are avoiding the worst of this virus out there. It's like I kind of see the results of it, but it's more. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to be, it hasn't hit me directly. So, but hope you guys are staying safe out there. It's not worth getting too crazy. Not worth licking straws and going crazy, man. Just take it easy. Yeah, I'm rambling on. All right, later, guys.